Alright guys, welcome back. So just going to show you this because this is going to take a minute, because SkyMaster normally does a pretty good job about pylons installation and things like that. Well, this one they didn't, not so much. All the lollipops are very ugly and going to need some work. They're not lining up properly. Wingtip pylon doesn't even have screws in. Hopefully they got some blocks in the tip of the wing that I can work with. So it's going to take a minute, but I am going to get it on there. And I was looking at some pictures, and just to kind of help people break it down, what we got and what I'm going to use versus what you commonly see on these things. I'm just going to do a quick video on it. So you get a bunch of pylons, you get a ton of missiles, okay? So these, let's get rid of these. These are fuselage things. So for the best I can tell, from what I've seen of pictures and what the real one has, so this right here is a typical setup from what they're doing. So, and this guy right here, these all go a certain way. This is supposed to be a light, which I'll probably paint if I don't install lights. It just depends on what the weight is. If this thing's, you know, just an LM2 and it's going to be LM2, then I'll add a light kit, and this will be eventually will be a light. But if not, I'll just keep it like it is. So this is actually the wingtip, and what I was talking about is they didn't put any screws here. So this will be kind of tricky to kind of work out. But essentially what you have is this outside piece. It's not hard to line up because it goes flush with from the rear, best I can tell. And then you put kind of like a missile here. And then you got this pylon, which is a double pylon. And I was like, oh crap, they didn't paint them right, but they actually did. So you've got this piece that would mount, hard mount to the fuselage or the wing. Same for this one. And then these silver dark gunmetal pieces, which are the rails, actually go on to these. So this will be on here like this. This missile and this missile are the same. Looks like a kind of like a heat seeker. I don't know if they have a heat seeker or if it's a radar guided, but it looks to be like an air-to-air missile. Go on these two. And then this one is another one of these crazy things. So this piece mounts to the wing, and then this clips. This was actually, and this one actually was right, so it just lollipops in, push back. This will obviously be mounted to the hard points, which are somewhere in here. They're actually here. So it goes just like that. And from all the pictures I've seen, they don't put this guy on. So this is what you kind of see in like all the pictures I've seen of one of these. This is kind of the setup you run pylon wise. And then so that will leave 2 extra of these. So these go to this wing, and then you've got these guys, which will mount under your, essentially they go, like this. They go under the fuselage in line with the inlet, which I think they may have those. So it'll go one here, and the other one obviously on the other side. And then you've got these guys, which are center line. This one's definitely center line. This one, I don't know, but I'm guessing it's center line, just like, maybe further back or vice versa. So these will all get put on and will be easy to do because, I got access to it. I can put hard points if I need to. So I am going to put that on. Whether I do this one or not, I may go ahead and drill the hole for it. So if down the road, if I want to put more on there, I can. I'll have more missiles than I need. So, and I don't know names. So these guys will be the 2 outer pylons. And then this guy will go on that weird looking pylon, so it'll look like this. So you'll have wingtip, pylon, middle pylon, and then these guys, from what I could see, these kind of crazy things go on those 2 rails that fit underneath the inlets. So it has 4, and I'm hoping I can put 4 because those look really nice on there. So I'm doing this an ordnance thing. You know, I don't have thrust vectoring. I don't want to do all that crazy stuff. I like having wing ordnance on a model. It looks really good. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. And I think you can put, I think 2 go on the rails underneath the inlets, and then 2 go center. And that's what I'll do. You know, those can go on too. The only thing I don't like about these, and it's scale, it is scale. I mean, the real ones look like this, these fixed kind of drag things, which is very weird to me. That just seems like probably isn't a lot of drag when you're flying a model. But if I put a bunch of them on there, you get a little bit of drag. So that was what I was talking about, that I could make those where they have, I could cut them off, re-glue them with like a little hinge and a spring, or like a, so when you're flying, they just kind of weather vane. But I don't know if I want to put that much effort into them. I may just not put them on there. But yeah, so next thing is this. Let me find, I don't know if I got the hardware over here or not. Excuse. I'll be so glad when I get my garage shelving. You know, I want shelvings, desk storage, desk hardtops, and I'm gonna go from like there to here. Up there will be cabinetry, storage, you know, verticals, cabinets. I'm gonna do some, you know, kind of this kind of stuff along that wall with some more vertical cabinets, maybe down here in the corner. And then I'll do a couple on the other side. But I just, like I said, took a break from all this, but I'll get there. But that being said, I can't keep up with crap right now because I'm not organized and I hate it. Okay, so here they are. Let's see, open this up here. I'll have to do a tactical pause and do a little cleanup here. So, all right, so these are the rods that I'm talking about. So these will come out, essentially they stick in, look like this. There, yeah. That'll have to clean out, it's got glue, got paint in it. But yeah, so it'll go in like this. It's got this arm, and if you see it, it's hard to see. There you go. It's got that half moon kind of shape. Well, so does this steel shaft. So it goes in just like that with a set screw. And this attaches to the servo, obviously. And then that's what drives, that's what goes into this piece. Just like this. And that's what drives your flapper on. And they have their setup with these guys. Pretty heavy duty. These are actually, they say they're Sullivans. These are actually pretty heavy duty. I might actually use them on this one. I don't know. I typically will ditch this and their rods and put ball links, but I might just do these, you know, because like I said, these are pretty strong. And if everything lines up and you don't have binding, that's typically the reason. Oh shoot, those are tight. I'm gonna have to drill those out. So there you go. That, yeah, those would have to be drilled perfect. So, all right. So I may put ball links on there. We'll see. But yeah. So I'll get more on this in a second. I just wanted to, and these are the servos I'm using for the flapper on. These are massive, 900 plus ounces of torque. I don't think it's going to need it, but I figured with this kind of setup, you know, it's not smooth, a lot of friction in there, and you know, probably geometry issues, that having a good bit of torque is going to work. So better more than enough, or not enough. So. But yeah, there you go for the pylons. That's what we're looking at. And like I said, the hard mounts are here. It's just a wood dowel. So all you got to do is, you know, you get the diameter of the dowel, and then the hardest part's getting all the stuff the angle you want it. So I mean, you're obviously limited to where they have their dowels, but you do have some ability to kind of tweak it a little bit where you can drill your hole in that dowel. And I do have some I think they're made by Dubro or whatever. It's a threaded insert with a kind of cut in it, so you can drill a hole, screw it in, and then it has a threaded insert in the middle. That's an option, or you can just drill with a screw, which is typically what most people do. And considering I'm putting this on there, I'm probably just going to do the screw, just drill and tap. And then what I typically will do on this is run a carbon tube, just drill a hole and run a carbon tube through, and that will makes it very rigid. This one, I might do that because it hangs down so much. And just you only need to do it like in one area. Like I could do it in the back here, and that would, or in the front. Probably better to do it in the front just because of aerodynamic stuff. Just drill it and do one here, and then do one center for this one. And they're really lightweight. It just, like I said, I use carbon tubes that I have from like old torque tubes from helicopters and stuff, and some smaller, real small, like 1/8 inch carbon tubes like I did with the A7. Works out great, makes them very rigid. You don't have to worry about them breaking off unless you break them off. But they hold up well in flight. This one I'm not too worried about. You know, with the lollipops, with I might put an extra one in there or something. I might actually ditch the lollipop, where I could just put a screw, you know, right through the outside here, but I don't kind of want to do that. So I may do the lollipops, or even glue them, shit, you know. But then again, some people don't like them when they're glued, so. But yeah, because all your missile weight's kind of out here on the front part of that rail. So this one I may actually just glue, you know. Ain't gonna hurt anything, so, or beef it up best I can. So all right, so there you go, man. We're rolling. This servo, I don't think it's too hard to get in there, but don't quote me on that. I'm gonna have to flip the model over, and it looks like you can come in from the, oh wait, no, it's right here. Okay, so that's what this is. You got these, I believe that's what these are. Yeah, so your L brackets will be mounted to these blind nuts, and the servo is right here, so that may not be too bad to get to. But again, don't quote me on that. You may have to take that strut loose to kind of, and just flip it over and come through the bottom door there. That's probably the best bet right there. Oh, look, you can see some blind nuts glued in for those bottom pylons, so that's good. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to clean up, reorganize, and at least get these marked, pylons marked on the wings, and kind of I got to start making some tape lines, and you know, measure and make sure I get everything straight. And I like to put a piece of tape down, that way you can take the pylon and you can mark it and then draw a line on each side, and then it just helps to line stuff up before you start making drill holes. So that's next. And then, like I said, I'll get this, once these are done, I'll take them off the table, put this guy on the table, probably flip it upside down, and get these servos put in for the ailerons, flaperons, whatever you want to call them. And then after that, rudder shouldn't be too bad. It's going to require some opening. The elevators, same thing, goes in here. Got to cut in the top here, and then putting those big carbon horns into the stab. That's kind of the hardest part of this whole build, I think, in my opinion, so far. And then looks like you can kind of get in here. Hopefully those rails look really wide. I bet you I'm gonna have to make a daggum extension for my my turbines. Yeah, gonna have to make some extensions. They tend to set all their crap up for King Tech, which is unfortunate. King Tech has some really wide rails or turbine clamps. So that's easy stuff. That's just common thing though. So, all right, guys, I'll shut up. It's another long video. Did not really show you much. But the next one I'll kind of show you how I kind of do the pylon stuff, and you know, doing live videos with this stuff is really hard because you'll sit here for I spent 2 days just getting 2 servos in, so it's really hard to do a live video for that kind of a thing. But if you guys have questions, comments, graps, complaints, let me know, man. Here to learn, here to teach. This is to help people out, because you go on their website and look at their introduction manuals, and they're pathetic. I think they just find the first person or two that builds one and gets them to take some pictures, and they're pretty useless manuals. So I mean, they're a reference, I guess you could say, but I do these builds for that reason. I enjoy it. People learn, I learn, and it helps answer some questions that the manual may not show you. Plus, you get to see the improvements. That's the biggie. I think if I can impart anything from all my videos, it's like the improvements that I do. And like I said, I'm just your average guy, but I think I have a pretty good common sense approach to the model stuff. I've been doing it for 30 years. And I've done enough, I've built enough of these jets to kind of know what to look for, especially with SkyMaster. So if I do a mod, I kind of like to highlight the mods, because that's what, you know, there's a lot of guys out there that have a lot of money that they'll crash these things faster than I can build them, that don't really care. But if you want a model to last and longevity, you know, there's just certain things you got to do, and that's kind of what I like to focus on. So, but you guys have a good one. I'm gonna get back to it. Cheers.